نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. Brothers and sisters, I just want to remind myself and you all that whatever we do in our life, every action of ours, it can become an act of ibadah if it's done according to the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On the other hand, if the same act is done in violation of Allah's teachings, then it becomes a sin. So whatever we do throughout the day, if we ensure that it's not violating any of Allah's commandments or teachings, and we ensure that it's following the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's in line with the teachings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then it becomes an act of ibadah and we will be rewarded for that. And if it's in violation, then obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hold us accountable. And that's true for everything, including our political activities. And the reason I'm reminding myself and you about that is that the federal election has been called. And we may think that this is a carnal matter, has nothing to do with our deen or our religion and our ibadah and our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it does. If we look at the essence of voting, what is it? The voting is expression of, like it's a trust. Our voting right is a trust which should be going to and given to the most deserving candidate. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us in Surah An-Nisa, verse 58. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna Allah ya'murukum an tu'addul amanati ila ahliha. That Allah commands you that you render trust to whom they rightfully belong. So it becomes our responsibility, when vote is a trust, it becomes our responsibility that we vote for the most deserving candidate, then we'll be in line with the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Vote is also a judgment. You are judging, there are multiple candidates, you are judging who is the best candidate. And in the same verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us, وَإِذَا حَكَمْتُمْ بَيْنَ النَّاسِ أَن تَحْكُمُوا بِالْعَدْلِ. Then when you judge among people, judge with justice, which again means that we must be making a judgment in favor of and giving the vote to the person who is most deserving. Another way of looking at it is, it's a witness. You are giving a witness that among all these candidates, this candidate is the best candidate, most deserving candidate. And you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us that we should not give false witness, we should be giving that we should be standing up with the right witness. And the fourth way of looking at it is that you are making a recommendation. When you are voting, you are making a recommendation to the election commission that among all these candidates, this candidate is most deserving. And in Surah Nisa, verse 85, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us, وَمَنْ يَشْفَعْ شَفَاعَةً حَسَنًا يَكُلْ لَهُ نَصِيبٌ مِنْهَا. That if you make a good recommendation, you will get part of the reward. وَمَنْ يَشْفَعْ شَفَاعَةً سَيِّئَةً. And if you make a bad or evil recommendation, then يَكُلْ لَهُ كِفْلٌ مِنْهَا. So then you will be sharing a part of the sin of that person. So from four perspectives I have presented you from Holy Quran, it is clear that we must be voting for the most deserving candidate. Now, who is most deserving candidate? Is it the person who is related to you, or your friend, or you have relationship, or you know him or her, or that has the same ethnic community, or speaks the same language, or because the person calls himself or herself a Muslim? What is most deserving candidate? We need to get rid of all these ways of making this decision, because we need to make the decisions according to the views and the track record of the person who are the candidates. What is their track record on key issues? It should be issue based. It should be according to, because the performance is not determined by who the person is. The performance is determined by what person is going to do or has done. So we should have a clear criteria in our minds. We should have maybe 3, 4, 5 important issues, important points on which we judge that what is the track record of this person, how the person has spoken or acted in the past, what the person is telling us now, and his election or her election platform, and their promises they make, and whatever. We need to judge everything and then see that according to our criteria, who is the most deserving candidate. So, for example, nowadays, this is a federal government election, so we have to look at the federal issues. So what is the most important issue concerning us? Islamophobia. Islamophobia is growing. It's becoming prevalent, more things are happening against Muslims. So we need to judge all candidates from the perspective that what person has said or done in the past to stop the Islamophobia, against Islamophobia, what actions have been taken, practical actions have been taken, how the person has behaved, and what kind of views the person has expressed about this issue. This is within Canada. On a foreign policy matters, we have to see what is the record of the party and the candidate about issues like the rights of Muslims in Uyghur Muslims in China, the persecution of Muslims in Palestine and Kashmir, the things like that. So we need to have, I have just given you one example from internal matters and one example from external affairs, that we should have a criteria, and based on that criteria, we should evaluate the candidates, we should question them, we should ask them, we should look at their past performance, past record, their previous statements they have issued, actions they have taken, and also cross-question them, talk to them, and evaluate which person is the best candidate according to the issues we have identified. So this is a brief reminder that we have a responsibility to do, all of you, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us in that. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر لي ولكم لسائر المسلمين. الحمد لله الذي أنعمنا بالإسلام وأكرمنا برسالة سيد الأنام ولا نعبد ولا نستعين إلا إياه هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن وهو بكل شيء عليم. Now, somebody may think that, oh, none of the candidates is good, so I'm not going to vote. Is that an option? No, it's not. Why? Because when you don't vote, you are actually voting for the worst candidate, not most deserving. You are voting for the worst candidate. Because whenever there are more than one person is going to be better than others. There may be little difference, but even little difference matters. So whoever is little better, we should support that person. They may all be bad, but whoever is little better, we should support that, because if we don't support him, then our inaction, our not voting helps the person who is the worst, because our not voting shows his position is more stronger in the community. So not voting is actually voting for the worst. And in that matter, we will be withholding our trust. The trust which was supposed to be given to the most deserving candidate, now that trust we are not giving anybody, we are keeping with us. That will be not according to the Islamic commands. And we will be making a wrong judgment because now we are supporting the worst candidate. And we are withholding our witness. And you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَنْ يَكْتُمْهَا, whoever withholds this witness, فَإِنَّهُ آثِمٌ قَلْبُ, that whoever withholds witness, that person has a sinful mindset. So whatever way you look at it, if we are not voting, we are actually disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, violating the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are voting for the worst candidate. So we have a responsibility, all of us, a civic responsibility, as well as Muslims our responsibility, that we take interest into the process, use this process to strengthen our community, to get our rights, and to stand up for our status in this society. And for that, we need to go out and vote. But after doing the homework and identifying who's the best candidate, and not withholding our vote at all, not staying home, not saying, oh, they are all bad, we are not going to vote anymore. No, we have to vote, even somebody is little better than others. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among those who make the right decisions, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept as our ibadah for whatever good we try to do. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وآله بعدد من صلى وصام اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وآله بعدد من قعد وقام وصل على جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى الملائكة المقربين وعلى عباد الله الصالحين اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه اللهم أيد الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم انصر من نصر دين محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ربنا يا مولانا واجعلنا منهم واخذل من أعرض عن دين محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ربنا يا مولانا ولا تجعلنا منهم عباد الله رحمكم الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجيب لكم ولذكر الله تعالى أعلى وأولى وأعز وأجل وأعظم وأكبر وأقم الصلاة.
Bang kan nama surat Allah.
Balik